Unit 3, Communication in Business. Communication is a process of sharing facts, ideas, opinions, thoughts, and information through speech, writing, gestures, or symbols between two or more people. The definition that we need to remember is basically focusing on exchanging information, ideas, and experiences. It also focuses on the fact that there have to be two or more people for the process. Two main parties who are involved in the communication is the sender and the receiver. The sender sends the message, the receiver receives the message. The communication process has a number of elements. The first is, of course, the sender who wants to convey his or her thoughts, ideas to the receiver. The second is the message itself, which is the content, ideas, feelings, etc., that needs to be communicated. The third element is encoding. That means the message can be transmitted by the use of language, actions, gestures, etc. Fourth element is the media. What is the medium or path through which an encoded message is sent? For example, we can write a letter, we can speak over a telephone, or we can have a direct face-to-face interaction. The next element is decoding, which means the receiver interprets the meaning of the message as was intended by the sender. The second party to the process of communication is the receiver who receives the message, and the communication process is only completed once feedback, which is response that the receiver has to send to the sender, is actually sent, and the message is understood in the same meaning that the sender intended it to. One key element in the process is noise, which means any obstruction or hindrance to communication. It may be due to ineffective communication, it may be because of the inattention of the receiver, it may be because of faulty decoding. For example, any kind of element that keeps the receiver from understanding the message. Types of communication. Communication can be oral or written. Oral communication are spoken words which can be sent through direct face-to-face interaction or over telephonic conversations or in conferences, etc. Written communication means use of written words. Sometimes we can even use visual communication in the form of pictures, graphs, symbols, etc. In addition to oral or written communication, the third type of communication is what is called oral communication. For example, use of whistles, buzzers, instruments such as the car horns. They all are a part of oral communication. And the fourth type of communication is gestural, which is basically use of parts of the human body or what we call body language to communicate. Therefore, types of communication. Communication can be of four types: verbal, written, oral, or gestural. Now, what do you mean by communication? Communication can basically mean that we have a message that we need to transmit from the sender to the receiver. The means by which this can be done include face-to-face contact, where we interact directly and use words or gestures, or wherever face-to-face communication is not possible, we can use letters if we are communicating written communication. If we are or if we have verbal communication, we can have telephones, etc.